Okay, so today I'm installing this Woodcraft Stator cover. Comes with a removable slider. I chose a stainless steel one because they said it it lasts longer. It's not as pretty as the red anodized aluminum one. My bike's red. Anyway, I plan on putting racing plastics on it, and I'm gonna put safety before vanity. It's more practical to go with the stainless steel. I got this on sportbiketrackgear.com. They've got awesome prices on stuff, man. So I've been going with them on stuff for my bike, some things for my bike, but that's where it has to go, right here. So I got to take plastics off on this side, drain the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and do the oil change, of course. And alright, I got this kind of jerry-rigged. You can see there's the garage door opener railing. I just put some rope around here so it'll hold it up. No big deal. Even if it opens and closes, it's going to be okay, but nobody's going to do that. Anyway, what you're going to want to do, which I made the mistake of, is you're going to want to remove the stator terminal, the female clip. What I did is I took this off first, and that was end up being inside of it, being held on by these 3 Allen bolts, those 3 holes to the inside cover. So of course this big old thing's dangling down, and it's magnetic, so it'll get sucked right in there immediately. It's kind of funny. Anyway, the clip is actually there's the female end. I'm sorry. So that's the male end. This is the male end, and the female end is right where's it at? You just had it. There it is. It's right there. Okay, and but this wire here is being held on by one of these zip ties, and that zip tie is being held on right here. So it's holding this wire on and this wire here. So you can see that indentation there, right here. And this is just removable. Just push this tab down. Just push that little tab down that you see sticking out, and this thing comes off. Don't cut it. All right, do that first, okay? And how you're going to take the gas tank off is take these 2 Allen bolts off here, and then these, the covers, you can see you got Velcro here. The covers, crap, where did I put them? Oh, they're over here. The covers that are right next to the seat, they just come off. Okay, they're being held by Velcro, and there's a plug here, and there's a tab. So you're going to want to pull the tab down first a little bit, because the tab's up under the gas tank a little bit. Pull the tab down and kind of pull out and support the back here, and just pull it off. Okay, you're going to do both sides, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take the seat off, and there's a bolt on either side of the seat. And so you can see, here's the seat, there's the bolts right there, the bolt holes. You're gonna have to take the seat off. Okay, that's where I'm at so far. So what you're gonna have to do is take these bolts are obvious, all right, that go around the casing, all right, but then there's one bolt in here that is holding the casing from the inside, so don't miss that. And it's actually it's not a blackhead, it's one of these. All right, and then to access that, you're gonna have to take these off here, these 3 bolts, and pull that out. And that's actually going to look like this here. All right, but don't lose, there's some washers and stuff, like there's a washer here and then there's another washer under here. Don't, make sure you don't lose those. It's being held on by this, there's kind of like a rubber gasket here. And don't think you're gonna have to replace those. There's the bolts there. Don't think you're gonna have to replace that gasket, because I think in the instructions for the Woodcraft it says you're gonna just reuse that. So I'm just gonna put a little oil on there to seat it better. And according to Woodcraft, I just gotta get the old gasket off, which some of it already came off already, but I'm gonna get it off and clean it real good with some brake cleaner. Drain the oil already, replace with a new K&N filter. And the Woodcraft actually comes with a gasket here, and this slider here is being held on from the inside with these 3 screws, these Allen bolts, or Allen screws, excuse me, and they have rubber washers on them so that oil doesn't leak out from here. Okay, and I was told to use red RTV, red Loctite on these, so that they do not come loose on the inside, because that would be a disaster. But from my understanding, they put those on the inside so that if you do go down, you're not shaving the head off and then having to drill them out. So it makes it a lot easier to deal with if you do go down. But I got the stainless steel one, because supposedly you can lay it down a few times and actually keep riding on it, the track. And if I lay it down and scrape it up, I don't care about the cosmetics of this thing, so I'll lay it down a few times if I have to before I replace that. And anyway, it's the K&N 138 filter for 2014 GSXR 750s, probably for the 600 too. But that's what you're looking at, and I'm going to stop the video here and continue in a little bit. Thanks for watching. Alright, I got this set up the best I can. Got my air conditioning going on in the garage, so you probably hear a little bit of that noise. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm about to put this slider on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it on with some tape, with some clear tape, because you're going to actually have to flip it over. You're going to actually have to flip it over to install it. Okay, so I'm just putting that tape on there just to hold it on because I'm a freaking genius. Alright, then here are the screws here that they supplied, and here's my Permatex red, and I heard I don't need that much. And here's a little handle that this particular set comes with, the Husky set. It's pretty cool. So you can slide that over and get in there. Hopefully it's long enough. Whatever, that's what I got. So go ahead and I'm going to use this to actually tighten it up, get it tight. There's a little rubber rings on there. They're saying to make sure that it's got a little rubber ring on there, because that's what's going to hold your oil in. Oh shit. I don't know if I went a little crazy with that. but it got all over the place. Oh well. Okay, I'm screwing it down. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. I gotta wipe my hands off. I'm not sure how thick this stuff's supposed to be. My wife's coming into the garage to ruin my video. I'm just kidding, Brandon. Alright, so stuff seems pretty watery to me, but maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I figured it would be like thick, but it's not. But it is snot. Yeah, it's just running on out. It's like, it's really thin. For some reason I thought it would be kind of thicker. The stuff that I'm used to dealing with, thread sealant, is usually thick. Alright. So I got that on there. And I'm going to torque it down just a little bit. I'm going to torque these down a little bit. I was watching a forum, or I'm sorry, I was watching a video, and somebody on a Woodcraft cover, it wasn't the Stator cover, it was a different one, and somebody said that they tightened them down too tight and actually broke, or stripped it to where it wouldn't get tight anymore. So I'm not trying to do that today. I'm just trying to tighten it down enough. These are stainless steel anyway, so I don't think they'll strip out like the aluminum would. But I'm not using a torque wrench. I'm using my guns. I'm twisting it, and I'm gonna wipe the excess off. But I think that's that. I'll let you know long term if what I did, if that red stuff, if I had enough in there, or if I torqued it down enough. But I'm thinking that's pretty good. Actually, let me, better safe than sorry, let me just give it a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, I think we're good there. Yeah, the red came through. I don't know if you can see it, but some of the red came through, and a little bit of the red came through there. So I think we're good. And had the little rubber seals on it, so I think we are straight. Now it's time to put the stator on. Sorry about the camera going all over the place, man. I got this flexible holder off of Amazon. Works great, but this table is not very steady. But that's what I got, man. This ain't $1 million production. If you want $1 million production, you can go watch the last Transformers, but I'm sure you'll be more entertained watching this than that last Transformers movie. Anyway, I'm gonna put the stator in now. Alright, So this is what it is. I'm thinking I got it the wrong way. Yeah, that seems right there. Because if I had it flipped the other way, yeah, that doesn't seem to be holding in there. Maybe I should have really paid attention to how I got in there. Anyway, that seems like that is holding on better. That way. Yeah, I guess that's why they put the little channel here. They got the little channel there for the wire. Because if I would have put it on like that, that wouldn't make any sense. Anyway. Sorry if I'm fumbling around here. It looks like that's the way it goes on there. And then this seals this on. I don't know if I'm going to use any RTV. I don't think I do, because see, the oil sits down in here. I don't think I need any RTV sealant. It didn't have any RTV sealant when I took this off. Didn't see any here. So I suspect that I don't need any. Anyway, I'm going to stop for now because I'm going to get some other kind of sealant to put, or thread compound to put on here. I'm not using the red. I'm going to use something else. It's a little bit not as strong. I didn't read that you need that, but I'm just going to put a little bit on there anyway. Better safe than sorry. So I'll be back. See you in a bit. Alright, it's about to look like a freaking earthquake, I think, because I'm about to put this stuff on here and it'll be shaking like crazy. I'm just putting a little bit towards the bottom. Just a little bit of this stuff towards the bottom. Not gonna go too crazy with this stuff. I'm using True Blue thread sealant. Alright. Let me line up the holes here. And let me put my stator down. There's one. There's two. And here's three. Okay. And I'll end up tightening this up here in a second. Alright, and then I have, oops. Then there's this. And that actually holds the wire down. See that? It actually holds this wire and keeps it from coming out. It didn't have any sealant on it, but I'm just going to put just a little bit because I ain't got nothing else to do on this Saturday, I guess. I'm just going to put sealant on everything. My dogs better watch out. I might get some sealant on them too. Alright, anyway, let me go grab uh-oh. Here we go. Found it. This is kind of, looks like kind of a pain to get in there. Let's see. Sometimes it's hard to find the hole. I was told sometimes if you throw flour on it, that it's easier to find the hole. But the hole's got to be a little wet. That was a dirty joke. Anyway, let me see. Alright. So it looks like there it is. Got my stator in and my little wire holder. So now all I'm going to do is just torque these down. And I think I'll be good here. Should be good to go. I don't think I need to torque these down too crazy anyway, because like I said, this is magnetic and it like goes up in there really easily and holds in place. So, and I got the sealant on there, and let me tighten this down here. Let's see. No, it wasn't the same. I wasn't crazy. Okay, so stator is in there, and there's the front of it. So now I'm going to take off the tape. Could have used painter's tape, but I don't think it's not leaving any residue behind. That's what it's going to look like, man. The cover on, and there's a little rubber grommet. Comes from the factory. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to put any RTV sealant on there. Let me check the old one. Yeah, see, here's the old one, and I don't see any RTV sealant on there at all. I think we might be okay. But you know what, man? I don't know. I think I'm going to put a little bit of RTV sealant in here. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, let me show you a little secret, man. If you just get some saran wrap or a little piece of plastic and you put it over or under your cap, over the hole, the male threaded hole, then, man, that thing will seal. I haven't used this thing in like a year, and as soon as I opened it, it came right out. So it's just a little secret. Artists use it a lot to on their oil paints to do that too. Anyway, just a little secret for you. Alright, this was long enough. Damn, almost 8 minutes. Sorry if it took too long, but I'm trying to do this right. Not just trying to make a video. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so what I did is I scraped the rest of the old gasket off, and I used a razor blade to clean up, to scrape. I used it flat because it's hard to get in there, and kind of just scrape the surface just a little bit, really flat it and gouge anything, just to clean it up. And then I shot it with brake clean, some brake cleaner, and wiped it off. Okay, what I did here is I used some RTV sealant where the casing comes together, where this casing meets that. And when you take your old gasket off, you'll see where they actually used some of this RTV sealant. They used it right here and right here, because you're going to have to actually scrape it off. You can actually see some black RTV sealant right here, where they bolted these casings together, or where they meet right there. Anyway, then I've got to install my my gasket right over there. And so I installed it. Alright, but let me give you some advice, okay? Put the gasket, here's the old one, right? So put the gasket on. This is just my opinion, right? The way I do things. This isn't like, this is for entertainment purposes only. If you can't handle this, take it to a professional. You're liable for your bike. You screw it up, it's your fault. Don't blame it on me. Alright, so anyway, what I did is I put the gasket on first. I put it on this side and slid. I put this bolt here on, this bolt here on. You can put like tape on that if you want. You can tape the bolt on. That's probably what I should have done. Tape the bolt on just at first to hold it to come through, then put the gasket over it, and then put this, start putting this over. Now, like I said, the stator's magnetic, so it's going to want to start pulling the closer you get. But the reason I'm telling you to do it like this is so the gasket stays in place and you're not fighting the gasket sliding around while the magnet's trying to suck it on, suck the cover on. Okay, so I'm just telling you to, what I did is I put 2 bolts here, put the gasket on, then really carefully put it over it, and then with one hand held it in place, and then started screwing my 2 bolts in, so that I know if those 2 far ones are in, right, then the other gasket hole should be lining up. And then I just put them in loosely, right, and then I started putting the rest in loosely. Okay, and then I tighten this one, tighten this one, tighten this one. Anyway, and then I use this ratcheting driver with the 8mm head. So I put them all kind of hand tight, and then I put this on and just give it a little and then I use the ratchet yet again just to make sure that it was on there tight enough. Okay, and just I want to show you something that's a little bit different from the factory cover. The factory cover has this little bolt on there, sealing this hole off. Not sure what that's for, but the Woodcraft does not have it on. It's not there. So I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. It's just an observation, just so that you don't get it and go, oh damn, it's the wrong part. I don't believe it's wrong. It's just, it's not there. I don't know what it's for. If you know what it's for, awesome. Okay, that's what it looks like on there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this gear on and make sure it lines up and everything, and I'll see if I can set it up to where you can watch me do it. Anyway, this thing's looking good. See you in a minute. Here is the gear that goes in there. So these, let's see if I could show, these teeth, big teeth, go back here, and these small teeth drive a little gear that's further forward, just right behind here. You'll see what I mean. But this drives, this brings this and this gear together. Alright, anyway, the reason why I'm trying to show you this is because it looks like, so this here, this little dowel thing, let me see if you can see it, this little dowel thing bridges in here, goes in here and holds, and this goes over, goes in between here, and the gear goes in between this thing. Okay, but the reason I'm trying to show you is there's this washer here, and this washer goes on the back side of the gear. So one washer goes here, okay, that washer goes back here, and then you've got these two little washers that go on the back side of this gear right here. Okay, so make sure you have the washers on both sides of that gear. You've got two like regular metal washers in between, then you've got like this really super thin, I don't even know what, it's almost like tin washer that actually mates to this surface, to the cap surface. Anyway, I wanted you to see that. I didn't want you to question how it goes on, because that's exactly how it went on from the factory. Anyway, I'll show you what it's like when it is done. Actually, let me see if I can put it on with you guys watching. Hopefully I won't break anything and embarrass myself. All right. Alright, looks like I got it on the first try, man. Man, I made that look way too easy. Way too easy. Alright. Like all I gotta do now is put this cover on. Now I'm gonna put a little oil on this ring here. And how I do that is I just flip this oil container over until I get a little bit at the bottom of this cap. And then I just rub it across here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, like lubricating. Who doesn't like lubricating stuff, man? The older you get, the more you find that she needs a little bit of lube. It's a dirty joke. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's a dirty joke. Alright, looks like that just goes over there. Put my screws on. Okay, so I made sure that the threads are in place and that the threads aren't gonna cross thread, and then I just go ahead and barely put that on. Okay, using the impact driver. I don't go too tight with it though. And then I just come back and just give it a little bit of a turn. I don't think these things have to be that tight, man, because that rubber, it's got that rubber seal on it. Plus, I think the majority of the oil is sitting in here. So the oil, I don't think is gonna, it's being pushed heavy against that. Anyway, those are my observations. So I got to put this, feed this back under and attach it to the female end, and then I'm going to take it out on a test ride. But so that's what we're looking at. Looks great, man. I'm glad that I got that on there, because these things don't really, they're not designed to take a beating like this. Alright, I appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to take it out for a test drive after I put it back together, and I'll let you know if I screwed anything up. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear positive comments. If you have any negative comments, please leave out any racial slurs. I'd appreciate that. I'm sure most other people would appreciate you leaving out any racial slurs. Look at my dog. Oh man, sometimes I wish I was him. Look at him. They live a hard life. Oh, woke him up. All right, y'all have a good one.